Welcome everybody to Invest Atlanta's webinar on our Creative Arts grant program. We're very excited to welcome you today. Specifically, as many of you know, the creative arts industry is very important to the Atlanta economy. And so we know that Atlanta is #2 in the nation when it comes to finding work in the gig economy. I'd also like to mention that we could not do this without our partners. And partners make things possible here in our great city. City of Atlanta, Mayor's Office of Cultural Affairs, Mayor's Office of Film and Entertainment, City National Bank, and Department of City Planning. All important partners for us in the creation and thought leadership around this program. And I want to thank each of those departments in particular for all the time and the dedication that they've provided to make this program real for you today. Invest Atlanta and the City of Atlanta's devotion to continue to launch programs that create opportunities for access to capital and jobs for the creatives in Atlanta. And this is important because it's also part of our economic development strategy based on economic mobility principles. More on that to come later, but for now, I'm going to turn it over to Nathan and thank him for all his work on the creATL program. Nathan?
Hey, good afternoon, Atlanta. It's been some weeks since you've seen us live, but we're back to bring more important and timely content to you. And thank you to Dr. Klementich for her leadership of Invest Atlanta as we've been navigating the COVID crisis. So as Dr. Klementich mentioned, we at Invest Atlanta are committed to ensuring that all Atlantans are thriving and able to get through the COVID pandemic together. To that end, me, my team, and the entire Invest Atlanta family have been working tirelessly over the past months to create programs that reach every corner of the city, from small businesses to the creatives, and that's who we're going to be talking about today. Some of the recent programs that we've launched that you should check out at investatlanta.com are our newly launched Resurgence program, which will be launching in a few weeks. We have a Strength and Beauty program, which is focused on our cosmetology industry. You can also find that at investatlanta.com. Obviously, today's conversation around creATL, with a special thanks to Shiaki Jones, who's been spearheading our efforts and been leading the charge on this. So we really appreciate her leadership on that. And all of our other loan products and programs that we have at Invest Atlanta can all be found at investatlanta.com. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our expert on creATL, Shiaki Jones, who's going to walk you through the program, how to apply for it, what you need to show. If you have questions, we're going to have a Q&A after that. So I hope you're interested in learning a lot about this program today. And without further ado, I'll turn it over to Shiaki. Shiaki, all yours.
Thanks, Nathan. Hello, everyone. So as Nathan mentioned, I am Shiaki Jones. I'm the program manager of creative industries at Invest Atlanta. So my role is working with the local creatives, making sure that we're creating innovative programs, but also programs to invest in you all and make sure that you're all sustainable. And given what's going on with the pandemic, this is no different. So like Elisa said, special thanks to our partners, especially City National Bank and the Mayor's Office of Film and Entertainment. They played a very vital role in bringing this together and then also making sure that we're reaching you all. So without further ado, we'll get started with the presentation. What I'll do is I'm gonna give us an overview over the program, and then we'll save the questions to the end so you can ask as many questions as you would like. Alrighty, give our tech people, okay. So we can skip straight to the purpose slide, Lexi. All right, so the purpose of the creATL Relief Fund is to facilitate private and philanthropic grants through a partnership with a 501c3 organization to the independent creative industry workforce engaged in creative industries and entertainment as a means of addressing the negative economic impact of COVID-19. So as we mentioned, our partners that came to the table was City National Bank and also the Mayor's Office of Film and Entertainment and Cultural Affairs and Planning. They help us put together, raise the capital to be able to distribute the funds to you all. Next slide. So these are just some stats that you all already know. The reason why we had to do something in creative industries is because you're a very important sector to the city of Atlanta. You drive a lot of our culture. And then we know that y'all are one of the industries that have been hit the hardest as a result of COVID-19. So some of the economic benefits of this program is to ensure the sustainability of the creative industries professionals the best way we can, from a loss of income and jobs in the city of Atlanta, and then also address the lack of working capital, cash flows, and as a result of project cancellation, shortage of gigs, and ensure the livelihood of the independent creative workforce that's been impacted. So in addition to this fund, I am working on additional programs to be able to give you all access to jobs, to be able to drive more revenue to you all outside of this grant program, but then also figuring out how else can we be a resource to you all. Next slide. And so the grant amount and the structure of how it works, each applicant that is approved will receive $1,000. Applications will actually be reviewed at the end of the grant period. So next Friday, they will close at 5, and then we'll begin packaging them, and then we'll get it to our committee that will actually review and score each application. So they'll be looking to see that you have showed an immediate need. They'll be looking to see that you have shown that you've lost revenue of gigs or any other type of project and things like that. And then if you're approved, you'll receive a direct grant to you. And it's supposed to be used for financial obligations such as food, housing, utilities, medical expenses, and transportation costs. Next slide. And so eligibility requirements are you have to be a resident of the city of Atlanta for at least the past 6 months. And you have to be working as an independent content creator in film, television, media, music, esports, performing in visual arts, digital entertainment, or any other entertainment industry. So this list is not the core list. So even if you're in fashion, gaming, whatever it may be, if you're able to prove that you've lost income and that you need access to income and an immediate need, you're eligible to apply. Ineligible people are people that are receiving unemployment from a current or former employer. So some helpful hints as you're going through the application. You can go to the next slide. The SAVE affidavits, they are mandatory. So on the list, on the page where it has documentation, we will also have a list of notaries that are doing electronic notaries. But the reason that they're important and that they have to be done is because we do have to ensure that you are a citizen of the US and that you are eligible to receive public benefit. So that's why that's important and that's why that's necessary to do. Please make sure that you're uploading the required documents. We have had in the past people uploading different documents other than what is required. We do go through and screen each application to make sure that every application, every document that we requested is there. And if it's not there, we'll send you a task through Neighborly and tell you, hey, we're missing proof of residence. You need to upload that within the next few days in order to continue moving forward with your application. Provide as much detail as possible. So as the judges are going through the applications, they're looking for you to really tell your story. So how were you impacted? What are you going through? What bills and things that you have right now that need to be taken care of in order for them to make a good scoring decision as to who's a priority and who do we need to reach first. So just make sure that you provide as much detail as possible. So if you've lost 10 gigs, I would upload all 10 of those lost gigs information up there. Or if you're working in a particular place and now they're closed, being able to show that they're closed and uploading that information up there. Just giving them a holistic look into what your current situation is and being able to score based off of that information. And then the next thing is to check your emails regularly. So the way that we will communicate with you will be via email. Once your application goes into the system and it's been submitted, if anything is missing, like I said, we'll send you a task, and that task, Neighborly will send you an email to say, hey, Invest Atlanta is reaching out, you're missing documentation, and it'll also let you know the due date of when that task has to be completed. And then even after you're approved, continue to check your emails, because that's where we send you information as far as commitment letters, grant agreements, getting information on where you would like your documents to be sent. So just make sure that you're regularly monitoring your emails and responding as quickly as possible. If there's a delay in communication, and then we have to either close your application and move to the next person and retract your approval. The next thing is just reach out with any questions or concern. The colleague that works with me, her name is Paige. We're here to answer any questions or any concerns that you may have going through the process. We try to respond as quickly as possible, usually within the same day. And if you catch us when we're in the groove of things, you'll get a answer immediately. But for any questions or anything that you're unsure about, just reach out to us and we'll make sure that we answer those questions for you very quickly and efficiently, so that you can get your application in and continue moving through the process. And with that, I will turn it over to Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free to write it in the chat and Lexi will get them to me. Okay. So far we have no questions, she tells me. So we'll give y'all a few minutes.
So Shiaki, so could you just go through the save affidavit again? So if someone has to fill out a save affidavit, they necessarily can do some of this without leaving their home. Can you just walk through that one more time?
So you can download the save affidavit and fill it out. And if you do not have a place where you can go to get it notarized, we have a list of electronic notaries that are doing them via email. So they do it via Zoom and other platforms. So they'll take a look at you, you'll hold up your driver's license to the camera, and they will notarize it electronically through that platform. And then you're able to send that over to us and we'll accept it as a notarized save affidavit.
And Shaki, will you maybe touch again about what it really means to be an independent contractor? So, you know, how are people qualified as an independent contractor?
Right. So an independent contractor is you're working solely by yourself. You're not employed by a major corporation or a major company. You're working independently. So whether that's graphic design, whether you're an actor, you can either be an accountant for a film and you're no longer being able to be an accountant for a film because of the crisis. Just anybody that does not have a corporate heading on top of them. Now, some creatives, they do have two jobs. So they may be an independent content creator on the side and then also work for a corporation. That is fine, but our priority will be for those that do not have access to those funds as far as like unemployment, and then also receiving those additional funds from whatever employment that you already have. So it's not saying that you're ineligible if you do have a real job, but our priority is for those that has not been able to get any type of relief during this time.
And Shaki, if people are submitting their application on Neighborly, which is pretty intuitive, and they submit the wrong document or need to go back and amend their application, is it pretty easy to do? How do they do that?
So once you submit your application, you cannot go back in and change your application. So if anything is wrong, then we will send you a task and let you know that, hey, the wrong document was uploaded and you have until whatever the cutoff time is to be able to re-upload those documents. So if you do miss the due date, then your application will be deemed incomplete and you will no longer be able to move forward with the process.
Great. And Shaki, how long do you think that this program is going to be open? We know we have funding for it, but you know, we want to make sure that people aren't rushing to complete an application, but they have some time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you have until July 3rd at 5 o'clock to complete your application. For this, as far as we know right now, this will be the first round. And if there's any additional funding, then we'll do another round. But as of now, this will be the round that we do. And you have until 5 o'clock on July 3rd to get your application in.
Great. And there might be additional rounds in the future. So just make sure that you're checking back at the investatlanta.com website for all of our programs as they're open and closing and reopening or for additional rounds, correct?
Correct.
Great.
Okay, and I think we got a question. Hold on one second. So deadline to apply is July 3rd. I just said, is this just for US citizens? Yes, you have to, or you have to have adequate documentation to say that you are legally in the US in Atlanta, and you'll be eligible to apply, I believe. Christy may need to jump in on that one. Can you be a permanent resident? Yes.
Christy, do you want to?
Yeah, Shiaki explained it perfectly.
Good job, Shaki. That's a challenging one.
Yes.
Great.
Okay.
And so, Shaki, if let's say that you are in the creative industry and you own your own business, and so you don't really qualify for this program, there are other programs available, not only at Invest Atlanta, but in the ecosystem, right?
If you own your own business or a creative firm, you're still eligible to apply. You would just apply as a person versus your business. If you have a brick and mortar business within the city of Atlanta, then you'll be eligible for some of our other programs. I believe the Business Continuity Loan Fund may be reopening. And then as Nathan mentioned earlier, we do have the Resurgence Fund that will be opening later this year. Any more questions? I'm gonna check with Lexi.
Well, if there are no more questions, Shiaki, you did an amazing job. You've been stepping up to the plate with this program, so we really appreciate you and your leadership on that. And a special thanks to Paige for helping out. And again, we can't say it enough. We can't do this without our partners. Certainly, we want to give a big shout out to City National Bank for their continued partnership, the Mayor's Office of Film and Entertainment. We couldn't do it without all of our partners. If you have questions, or if you have other inquiries that you have of this program or any others, you can reach out to us directly. And we certainly thank you for your time today.
Yes. And then the email to reach out to us directly is creatlrelief@investatlanta.com.
creatlrelief@investatlanta.com, right?
Yes.
Great.
All righty.